Hey everyone, welcome to the 2022-2023 FtC Fantasy Liiga. By the way, FtC stands for the culture, because that's what we're doing this league for. Name can change, but what we're calling it for now. This is just a quick video to show off fan tracks and kind of guide you through just the main things that you'll probably need throughout the year. I understand that it's probably a little bit confusing for those that already kind of know the ins and outs or just don't care to watch this. Go right ahead. It is pretty simple. It takes a little bit of getting used to. But for those who want to watch it, then here goes. So this is just home screen. I have my thing in dark mode. You can change that by coming up to the top right here, and then you can change your colors, how things are spaced, stuff like that. First of all, though, I would recommend that you get the Fantrax application both on your computer and phone. Having it on your phone is nice. You can look at stuff anywhere that you want to, but the computer one is a little bit better in terms of its formatting. So when you're trying to make a trade or sign a free agent, it'll be a little bit easier, but both work. The phone app is basically this website, but condensed onto a smaller screen. So like I said, home screen. We're waiting on a couple more, but almost everybody's in here. You'll see your main rival that you play for that week. It's head-to-head points against one team. So if I get 200 points and my opponent gets 150, then I win. But if everybody else gets, say, 100, even if I got 150 and I would have beaten every other team, too bad, because the one person you faced off against for that week will beat you because they have more points. So sometimes it's the luck of the draw. It happens to all of us. So first we'll go to, I guess, your team screen. So this will obviously be filled with players in due time. The draft right now is set for Friday, October 1st at 6. I believe I haven't heard anything bad so far, so that's what we're going to stick with. But this is going to be your team. So it's going to be filled with a whole bunch of players. Got 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, a skater. So it can be either forward or defense, depending on what works for you for that day. A few goalies, and then some bench and IR spots. So each day, come in here, takes 30 seconds to a minute, and you'll just kind of click on each forward and defense and goaltender who's playing and swap them out. So if you got 5 Canadians players and 4 of them are on the bench and 1's playing, just swap them out with players that are playing. But if you have too many players, then you have to decide who has to sit on your bench and not get you any points. So you got to balance it out. If we'll go to the player screen next, just at the top here. So obviously we have literally all the players here because our draft hasn't happened yet. But once the draft does happen, this will be filled with your free agency pool. So how that'll work is it'll be players that are good, but not good enough to initially be drafted. If you feel like this guy is going to pop off, you need a goalie to start that night, you want to pick up a line mate, you come in here, you click claim, and then depending if you have the space for them, you can do so. If your team is full, then you'll have to drop someone for that player. So last year, at least, it was a little bit finicky sometimes in terms of trying to pick up or drop someone. It shouldn't be that hard, but if there are complications, then reach out to me. Pat did this last year, Mitch as well, so we should be able to help you out. Also, throughout the year, there'll be players who go into the waiver wire. What that means is somebody who was previously on a team who was then dropped. So say I wanted to drop Connor McDavid. You never would, but this is just an example. So I drop McDavid, and I pick up some guy. McDavid then goes to the waiver wire, and there's a set order for the waiver wire, and it's based off of how recently you picked up someone. So if I picked up somebody the previous day, I go to the bottom of the waiver wire. So I believe it lasts for a day or two. And if that player is good enough, you can use your waiver wire claim on that player, but it goes in order of priority. So if somebody has number 2 out of 10, then if multiple people claim that player, they would have the edge as long as number 1 doesn't beat them. So that's how that works. Go to standings next. Standings, this is just, this will accumulate over time in terms of how many wins, losses, ties don't happen. Overall points throughout the year, etc. Overall, there will be 18 matchups where you'll play everybody in the league exactly twice. Then the playoffs will roll around, where it will be 3 rounds that are 2 weeks long, which is twice as long as the normal regular season matchups. We'll go to scoring. So this is basically just the one-on-one matchups I talked about on the home screen, but instead, this is for, like, it'll be more detailed. It'll show you, okay, so I got Crosby, Ovechkin, I don't know, pick whatever players you want. So you can see, oh, Crosby has 4.2 points because he has a goal, a couple hits, and a couple shots. And that'll accumulate each day. And at the top, you'll see your overall points so far. The little small numbers here, so that's the number of players that have already played, currently playing, and remaining. So if you look against your opponent and you see you have like 10 less guys, maybe make a trade or pick up a guy or 2 to make it more even if you can. Let's see. Draft room. This doesn't open up until probably the day before or day of the draft, so don't worry about that. This you could worry about, though, which is ranking players. So these are the rankings that Fantrax provides for all the players, and it's based totally off of fantasy points for the entire year. Now, picking the players who get the most points is a good idea, but sometimes you need that defenseman or goalie, or you need that big playmaking center. So you can make your own custom rankings here. Just press the little plus and minuses, and that, make the list there. If you want to use this, you can. Once the draft room opens up, your rankings will be there. I would suggest that you have maybe a piece of paper with some names that you want, or you have a different website, a different spreadsheet, something like that on your other screen, just so then you're better prepared. But do whatever you want to do. So that's kind of the basis for it. I guess we can go to other and look at league rules summary. So this is kind of just the breakdown of everything. It looks like a lot of text, but it's basically just when we play, what the roster looks like, how it's scored. I would definitely take a look at this. And then just some other rules down here. That needs to be changed. That should be 28. Once the draft rolls around, it will be 2 minutes per pick, and each general manager will have 1 timeout that they can ask for. I will manually pause it as commish, and you'll have some extra time. I believe that's kind of the ins and outs. Oh, trading, I forgot. Sorry, last thing. If you go to your team here, you can sort through all the other teams here, or you can start with your own and trade for a guy. So say I really want Sidney Crosby, like I've used before. Say Crosby's on Seb's team. So I go, Crosby's hypothetically right here. You can click on him. I think there's like a button, and you'll go, boom, trade. You can trade him. You can trade multiple players. You can do 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 2, 2 for 1. The craziest trade I've ever seen was like a 6 for 5 or something like that. So if you want to get creative, you can. Here you can only offer. So I would suggest talking either in person, through text, something like that, just so then you can better determine what you're going to be trading for, what the prices are, stuff like that. Just so then you're not wasting time sending 20 trades back and forth and getting them rejected over like a week or so. I think that's kind of it. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to hit me up in person, text me, because it might be a little bit overwhelming, especially at the start, but once you get into a groove of a week or two, it will become really easily. Pat is the AC, terrible name. He did it with me last couple of years. He knows what's up. So he's the assistant, I guess. So also talk to him as well. And yeah, good luck, guys. And we will see you on October 1st.